So now we come to it, don't we? Let me lay things out for you.
Why'd you come here? Why us?
There's just something about us that pisses him off.
I'm here because island folk know how to pull together for the common good when they need to. And island folk know how to keep a secret. That was true on Roanoke Island in 1587, and it's true on Little Tall in 1989.
Tell us. Quit dancing around it. Tell us what you want.
Your children are here with you, but they're not. It's the same for me, because part of me is with them. Look.
Jack, he's got our Buster!
That's all of them. And if I drop them there... they die here. You'll see it happen. They'll puff out. Like candles in the wind.
Please don't hurt my Sally, mister. She's all I've got left now that Peter's gone. We will give you what you want if we have it to give. I swear we will. Won't we?
What is it? Tell us.
I've lived a long time. Thousands of years. But I'm not a god, nor am I one of the immortals. So, now you see me as I really am. Old and sick. Dying, in fact. By the standards of your mayfly existence, I've long to live yet. I'll still be walking the earth when all but the freshest and greenest among you, Davy Hopewell, perhaps, or young Don Beals, have gone to your graves. But in terms of my own existence, time has grown short. You ask me what I want. No. I want someone to raise and teach. Someone to whom I can pass on all that I've learned and all that I know. Someone who will carry on my work when I can no longer do it myself. I want a child. One of the 8 sleeping back there.
No. No. Never.
It doesn't matter which one, all are just as likely in my eyes. Give me what I want, and give it freely, and I'll go away.
Never. We will never give you one of our children. Never.
Get him!
Let go of me!
For God's sake, stop him!
Grab him unless you wish me to drop the children, and I will, I promise you I will.
My dog!
Damn it! Let go of me! No, Mike. We gotta listen to him.
No, we don't. Listening to him's the worst thing we can do.
Keep still, Michael Anderson. Let him have his say.
Molly. Molly?
I don't think we have a choice, Mike. We have to listen.
In a matter such as this, I cannot take, but I can punish. I assure you, I can punish. Give me one of the babies sleeping yonder to raise as my own, and I'll leave you in peace. He or she will see much and live long, long after the others sleeping there are gone. Give me what I want, and I'll go away. Refuse me, and the dreams you shared last night will come true. The children will fall from the sky, and the rest of you will walk into the ocean 2 by 2. And when this storm ends, they will find this island as they found Roanoke Island, empty, deserted. I'll give you half an hour. Discuss it, and then choose.
I call this meeting to order. I think it's best if we deal with this matter as we would any piece of town business. After all, that's what this is, isn't it? Town business? Any objections to that? No. Right. The item on the floor is whether or not to give to this thing that has come among us one of our children. He says that if we give him what he wants, he'll go away, and he'll kill us all, including the children, if we don't. Have I stated that fairly? All right. How say you then, Little Tall? Will you speak to this?
I don't see what choice we have if we believe he can do what he says he can do.
Do you believe him?
That's the first thing I ask myself. I do. I do.
Roberta Coins has a good point there, though. How many of you believe Linoge is telling the truth? That he can and will wipe out everyone on the island if we stand against him? Show of hands.
Mike, it's not a question of what we're going to do. Not yet. It's just a question
I
of
know
whether or
what the
not
question is. And once we start down that road, every step of the way gets easier. I know that too.
All right. I guess we believe him. That's one issue out of the way. Now, if there is any discussion of the main question.
I have something I'd like to say.
That's fine. You're a taxpayer, sure enough. Have on.
No. He's not a man. I didn't vote, but I agree with that just the same. I am your constable. The man you elected to enforce your laws, and I saw what he did to Martha Clarendon, what he did to Peter Godso, and I've seen what he's done to our children. So I understand, as well as any of you, better than some maybe, the reality of what he's threatening. But folks, we don't give our kids away to thugs. Do you understand that? We don't give away our children.
So what's the choice then? What do we do, Mike? What can we do?
We stand against him. Side by side, we use our will. We tell him no. In one voice. We do what it says over the door we use to come into this place. We trust in God and in each other. And then, maybe he goes away. The way storms always do when they've blown themselves out.
Render therefore unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. Book of Matthew. You said that to me yourself, Michael, not an hour ago.
Get thee behind me, Satan, for thou savorest not the things that be of God. Book of Mark. Folks, if we give up a child, one of our own, how will we live with each other? Even if he lets us live.
By the grace of God. We've all got something to hide, Mike. Or maybe you're different.
Oh, Jack. No, I'm not different. But this isn't like trying to live with a test you cheated on, or the memory of someone you hurt when you were drunk. We are talking about a child. Do you understand that, Jack?
Michael, suppose you were right about sending him away. Suppose we put our arms around each other and we gather our will and we come out with a big collective no. Suppose we do that and he just disappears. He goes back where he came from. You saw our children. Now, I don't know where he actually has them, but I have no doubt that flying high above the earth is an accurate representation of it. They can fall. I believe that. All he has to do is wave that cane of his, and they fall. How are we going to live with ourselves if that happens?
He could be bluffing.
He's not, Michael. And you know it. You saw it.
You speak as though he were going to kill the child, Michael. As though it were some kind of human sacrifice. It sounds more like an adoption to me.
And a long life as well. If you believe him, that is. After seeing him, I guess I do.
I just don't believe this. I don't believe this. Lanoge killed Martha Clarendon with his cane. He knocked the eyes right out of her head. And we are debating whether or not to give this monster a child. We might as well give away our souls.
You want to know the worst thing I can think of, Michael? Suppose you're half right. Suppose we live and they die. How are we going to look at each other? How are we going to live with each other then?
And how would we ever live with you?
He said half an hour, people. We have 10 minutes left.
We can't do this. Don't you understand that? We cannot do this. Don't you see? We cannot allow...
I think we've heard your side of the story, Mike. Take a seat, why don't you?
Sonny!
Mike, maybe you should do what he say.
All right. All right. You need to think about this, folks. You need to think about this very carefully.
I need to go sit with Ralphie.
What do you say, folks? What's your pleasure?
God help us, let's give him what he wants. Let's give him what he wants and send him on his way. Even if it's Sally, better she live with a bad man than die. My God, Michael Anderson, where's your heart? They're children. We can't let him kill all 8 children.
Anyone else?
Don't. Please. Please. Ursula. Please. Jack. Robbie. All of you. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't give in to this. This is damnation. All right, then let's restrict the vote. Let the parents vote, and the parents only. They're all residents.
No, that's not fair. I raised her by myself. Oh, I've had plenty of help from folk on the island, including you and your wife, Mike, but mostly by myself. I shouldn't have to make a decision like this all by myself. What is a community for if it isn't supposed to help people when something terrible happens? When none of the choices look good?
Couldn't have said it better myself, Lynn.
For God's sakes, let's vote and have done.
Call the question, Robbie.
Let's
Call the question!
All right, fine. But you understand this. My son is not a part of this. All right? Do you understand that? My son is not a part of this obscenity.
Yes, he is. We have never shirked our duty, Michael. We've taken part in all the life on this island, and we will take part in this as well.
You don't mean that, Molly. You can't mean that.
I do, Mike.
Well, screw this. Screw all of you. I am taking my son and leaving.
You can't leave. We're in this
Damn it,
together.
let go of me.
Mike, stop it. Mike, just grab him.
Stop it, you're hurting him!
That's enough.
Michael, calm down. Calm down. Michael?
All right. Okay. I'll sit.
Michael.
Mike, are you...
Get away from me.
Shut up, Ash. When you've had a chance to think about it, you'll understand. He'll come around. It's the only thing we can do. What else is there? Die for a principle, every one of us? You have to think about it.
And if it's Pippa Lenoge ends up taking.
Well, then I'll tell myself that she died as an infant. That it was crib death, something we couldn't help but foresee. And I'll believe it. Melinda and I will both believe it.
Oyez, oyez, oyez. The question has been called. Do we or do we not give Mr. Lenoge what he wants, pursuant to his promise to leave us in peace? How say you, Little Tall? All those in favor signify in the usual way.
I'm Harry's father, and I vote yes.
I'm his mother, and so do I.
I vote yes.
Carla and I vote yes.
Yes. We have no choice.
No choice.
I vote yes. It's the only way.
Got to.
To lose one in life is better than to lose them all in death. I vote yes.
Those opposed? I count all in favor save one. The motion is carried.
Have you reached your decision?
We have. We voted in favor.
Excellent. You've made the right choice. You've done a hard thing, my friends. And despite what the constable may have told you, it's also a good thing. The right thing. The only thing, really, that loving, responsible people could have done under the circumstances. These are weirding stones. They were old when the world was young, and were used to decide great issues long before Atlantis sank into the African Ocean. There are 7 white stones in here, and 1 black one. You're eager for me to be gone, I know. And I don't blame you. Will one parent of each child come forward, please? Let's finish this. It's perfectly simple. You each draw a stone from the bag. Do not reveal your stone until all have been chosen. The child whose parent draws the black stone comes with me. Live long, see far, and know much. Mrs. Robichaud. Jill, will you start us off?
Go on, honey. Do it.
Mrs. Hatcher.
I can't, Robbie. You...
Go ahead. Draw.
Ladies.
You go first, Molly.
No, you. Please.
Well, my friends, so far it's gone very well. Now then, Who has the courage to show first? To put fear aside and let sweet relief rush in to take its place. Come, come. Have you not heard the gods punish the faint of heart?
Buster, I love you.
Show it, Sandra. Let's see.
I can't, Robbie. I can't. I know it's Donnie. I know it's him. I've never been lucky.
White.
Please, dear God, I beg of you, don't take away my Heidi.
Mrs. Robichaud. Jill.
I can't. I thought I could go through with it, but I can't. I'm sorry.
Mr. Bright. Henry. Would you favor us?
No! No! Michael! Stop! No! Please. No! No! No!
Dad, Mom is coming, sweetheart. Mom is coming, sweetheart.
Mike.
No. This can't be. You can't have my son.
I feel your grief keenly, Molly. But you agreed to the terms. I'm sorry.
No, you fixed it. You fixed it somehow.
I assure you that's not so. The game was, as you'd say, straight. And since I believe that long drawn-out farewells only add to the pain...
No, you can't do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, residents of Little Tall, I thank you for your attention to my needs, and I now declare this meeting at an end, with the suggestion that the less you say to the outside world about our arrangement, the more happy you are apt to be. Although, of course, such matters are ultimately up to you. With that, I'll take my new protege and leave you to your thoughts. May they be happy ones.
You tricked us!
Perhaps you tricked yourselves.
He'll never belong to you! Never!
But he will. He'll come to love me. He'll come to call me father.
Mike, I don't think you should touch me. Don't ever touch me again, any of you. Any of you. Ralphie! Ralphie! Please. Bring him back. I'll do anything. Anything you want. Bring him back. Please, bring him back! Ralphie!
You and Mike haven't slept together for how long? 5 months. The last time was the night before the big storm. The storm of the century. When you lost your son. Correct. When I lost my son. And Mike blames you for that loss. I think he's going to leave me. You're very afraid of that, aren't you? I think he's running out of ways to stay. Do you understand what I mean by that? Molly, tell me again what happened to Ralphie. Why? We've been through this. I mean, what good would it do? He's gone. I mean, what good can that do? It was the second day we were in the town hall where we took shelter. The storm, you know, you can't believe how bad it was. I know, I was here. Yes, Lisa, you were here on the mainland. It's different on the island. Everything is different on the island. It was a mistake for any of us to go out, especially the children. We underestimated the storm. Several people wandered away and were lost. Ralphie was one of them. Angie Carver found her way back, but none of the others ever did.
Mike,
got something to say, you better say it. The ferry leaves in 20 minutes, and I don't intend to miss it.
Where you going? Mike, don't leave. Would it do you any good to tell you that I haven't had a good night's sleeping since February? Would it do you any good to tell you that maybe we might have been wrong?
I've got to go, Hatch.
Robbie says to tell you that the constable job's yours again whenever you want it. All you have to do is ask.
No, I'm done here. I've tried till I can't try anymore.
Molly needs you. Have you seen the way she is now? Have you even looked?
You look for me, okay?
Well, Linda's not doing very well either. She takes a lot of tranquilizers. I think she might be hooked on them.
That's too bad. But you've got your daughter at least. You may not sleep so well. But you can go into Pippa's bedroom and watch her sleep. Any night you want. Can't you? Good luck, Hatchet.
He wandered into the whiteout. Maybe he was with Bill Timmons, the gas station man. I'd like to think so, that he wasn't alone at the end. They must have lost their bearings completely and gone into the sea. They were the two who were never found.
There's a great deal of this story you haven't told me, isn't there? Until you do, until you tell someone, it will just keep festering.
It'll fester no matter what I do. Some wounds can never be cleaned out. I didn't understand that before, but now I do.
Molly, why does your husband hate you so? What really happened to Ralphie?
He wandered away. People do, you know, they get lost. That's what happened to Ralphie. He was lost in the whiteout. He was lost in the storm.
Nine years ago, that was. I just gassed up my car and left on the ferry. I've never been back. All I cared about was that I had to wear sunglasses every night when the sun went down, that every mile on the odometer was a mile further away from Little Tall. Ma got the bank accounts, the insurance, the store, the house, and a little piece of land we had in Vanceboro. I got the Blazer and a peace of mind. What was left of it. I wound up here, back on the water again. Ironic, I guess, huh? But it's different, somehow, the Pacific. It doesn't have the hard glow when the days start to run down towards winter. And it doesn't have the same memories. I went back to school, got a degree in law enforcement and another one in accountancy. Thought about going after a law degree, and then thought again. Started out keeping store on an island off the coast of Maine and wound up a federal marshal. How do you like that? Sometimes the island seems very far away, and Andre Leno's just a bad dream I had. Sometimes, when I wake up late at night, trying not to scream, it seems very close. And as I said way back at the beginning, I keep in touch. Melinda Hatcher died in October of 1990. Local paper said it was a heart attack. Ursula Godzo sent me the clipping. I don't know if there was more to it or not. 35's young for your pump to quit, but it happens. Molly and Hatch married in May of 1993. Ursula sent me that clipping, too. From what I hear, they've been good for each other. I'm glad. I wish them every happiness. I mean that with all my heart. Not everyone on Little Tall's been so lucky. Jack and Angie Carver divorced about 2 months after Hatch and Molly got married. Jack fought for custody of Buster. He was pretty bitter, I guess, and lost. He moved off the island to Lewiston, rented a room, killed himself there one night, late in the summer of '94. He left what little he had to a fellow named Harmon Brodsky, who lost an eye in a barroom fight back in the '80s. Robbie Beals rebuilt the old fish house on the town dock and hired Kirk Freeman to work there. Kirk said Robbie's wife, Sandra, came down there early one morning in the spring of 1996, dressed in a yellow slicker and red boots, and told him she wanted to go for a little row. Kirk made her put on a life preserver. He said he didn't like the way she looked. He said it was like she was dreaming with her eyes open. But what could he do? It was a mild morning, no wind, not much of a swell, and she was the boss's wife. They found the boat, but they didn't find Sandy. It was one strange thing. But they didn't know what to make of it. There were people on the island who maybe could have helped them a little there. But island folks can keep a secret. We kept our share back in 1989, and the people who live there can keep them still. This is a cash and carry world. Pay as you go. Sometimes you only have to pay little. Mostly, it's a lot. Once in a while, it's all you have. That's a lesson I thought I learned 9 years ago on Little Tall during the storm of the century. But I was wrong. I only started learning during the big blow. I finished just last week.
Ralphie!
I could have written Molly and told her. I thought about it. I even prayed about it. When every choice hurts, how do you tell which one's the right one? In the end, I kept silent. Sometimes, mostly late at night when I can't sleep. I think that was wrong. But in daylight, I know better. In daylight, I know better.